Here's that freak vine that came up when I planted what I thought was a cronus seed. It's now about, oh, I'd say at least 25 feet long, and running along the fence now, and producing, as you see, lots of male flowers, occasional female flower, but I can tell you with some certainty that that's going to drop off, even if it is pollinated. So whatever this vine is, it's not very useful. There's our volunteer sunflower that got eaten, and it's sending up more blossoms. I put a here we go, that's an onion flower. I put that down next to the volunteer sunflower, hoping that it would deter the deer. I'm also going to try a garlic spray later today. We've come to the end of the tomatoes for the year, I think. The end of the big beefs, anyway. The Bush Champion is trying to send up another tomato. But the big beefs are pretty much spent at this point. They are flowering, but not very much. What's going to come next are the Sweet 100s and my own personal tomato that comes up in this garden by itself every year. That's about the size of a golf ball, and that actually tastes much better than the Sweet 100. So, you can see an August garden here. It's going to get, I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do my spraying because it's supposed to rain today, and it's just not worth it. It's also very hot today, and you're not supposed to do fungicide spraying when it's very hot. But anyway, it's just not worth it to spray and then have it rain off. So this will be fed and fungicided, and I'll come out with the garlic spray tomorrow. I don't worry about the yellow leaves anymore. It seems that seems to be the older leaves that are getting that color, so I'm not worrying about it too much. I've harvested a few more pumpkins. They're down in size from last year, but I think that's because of the overcrowding of the vines coupled with the dry weather we had for about 3.5 weeks. And it was also cool. It was in the mid-70s during the day and the 50s during the night, and that's, while the garden will still grow in that weather, it grows more slowly. So yeah, I'm not anticipating a lot of huge pumpkins this year. They're all going to be under 10 pounds. Well, not all of them, but most of them will be under 10 pounds this year, I think. But that's okay. That's a lesson learned. Next year, even if I have volunteer vines, I'm going to pluck most of them out. I didn't do that this year. There's a pumpkin growing by the fence. I think that's a racer. Excuse me. I have got to pick these tomatoes today or they'll explode on me when it rains. There's a marigold, volunteer marigold coming up in the garden. I don't know if I've got the camera on it. Let's see. Camera. Yeah, it's a volunteer marigold. It's supposed to be good for mosquito deterrence, so I'll leave it in there. Not hurting anything. Okay, some more tomatoes on the ground here. And there's our biggest pumpkin. I think that's going to be my pumpkin this year. Although I give most of the pumpkins away, I do keep one for myself. So that's, I think it's a racer. It's awfully dark for a racer. It might be one of those racer / red warty things, but I don't really see any warts on it. So yeah, it's too far over to be a cargo, unless it's a cargo mixed with a racer, but it's pretty big. Here we go. Over here. There we go. Well, I'll move it in the way. Let's try to zoom out. There we go. So it's a pretty big pumpkin. It's over 10 pounds, or 15 maybe, 12 to 15 pounds. That's going to be a big one, I think. And I am seeing a lot of male blossoms, but very few female. So I'll keep up with the tiger bloom. This little guy down here I just saw this week. I don't know if it's going to make it though. It looks like it's either ripening or it's going to die. So, one of the two. A lot of weeds here. I haven't been weeding much because it's been so dry and it makes it very hard to weed. But then the weeds get out of control very quickly. There. We have got lots of marigolds coming up here. There we go. Okay. Okay. Mosquitoes are a little less of a problem than they were. I think that's because of the dry spell. So I'm able to get in here. Here's a little pumpkin that's ripening. Put my hand there. It's very tiny. It's less than 5 pounds. There's, I think that's a red warty thing over there. No, it might be, I don't know. Oh, that might be a Cronus. No, the Cronus is a little further over. Yeah, that might be a racer or a red warty thing. It's maybe about 7 pounds, I'm guessing. It's hard to tell when they're in the garden because when you pick them, they're always smaller. They shrink or something. They actually do lose some weight when you pick them. Yeah, not a lot of activity. We do have some vines sending up new vines, so we may have more pumpkins. There's a female flower right there. It must be a cargo. I'm thinking that's a cargo. Okay, so let's go to the other side of the garden. There's a few pumpkins visible over there. There we go. Excuse the rough ride here. Okay. Okay. I think over here, yeah, that's our largest Cronus, which is starting to turn. Right there. That's maybe 7-8 pounds at the most. I'm not going to grow Cronus again. I'm finding very low production, and of course with the overcrowding this year I haven't got a good sense of how big they get. But this must be a racer here. There you go. Another racer. And that's a little bigger than the Cronus, but not much. And what do we got? Got a pumpkin growing on the sidewalk. There we go. That's probably a racer. What else have we got here? I know there's more than that. Okay. This could be a Cronus. Probably is either a cargo or racer. So, on now. Come on, dude. There it is, yeah. And that looks maybe on track to be about 10 pounds or so. Yeah, and there's a small one. That's a small, small cargo that is ripening. And over here, I think this is a Cronus on the end here. Yeah. So, that just formed. So, oh yeah, I keep forgetting our watermelon, which is hanging on the fence. Here we go. There's our watermelon. And over here we don't have any squash yet. That's our butternut squash. But it is making a good old try. It looks a little healthier this week. Okay, I am going to come back. I'm going to show you the pumpkins in the garage. Well, there's supposed to be a light on this camera somewhere, but I can't find it right now. So if this is blurry, please forgive me. These are the pumpkins I have harvested. I think they're all cargos. There's 4 of them now. So let's see how this guy's doing. I'm always concerned. No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. They all ripened in the garage. I have always known that when a pumpkin shows any orange at all, preferably more than less, you can pick it and put it in storage and it will ripen. I did find a website that argued with that, but and it also claimed that they grow with a little bit soft. Okay, this guy always had a soft spot, so I'm going to treat that with fungicide and try to save it. It claimed that they grow after they start to ripen, which I haven't found to be the case, and it also claimed that you have to wait until they're totally orange to harvest them. Not the case. Matter of fact, I think I read once that professional pumpkin growers actually do pick their pumpkins, excuse me, earlier in the season when they are still mostly green. So whoever came up with that website, I've got issues with you, but doesn't mean you're wrong. Okay, we'll go back outside and look at the sunflowers. Okay, they're almost all open now. A couple of them are about 10 feet tall. And one thing I forgot to tell you the last time we talked is that when sunflowers like this open, they open small, maybe 4 or 5 inches. This one was only about 3, the one you see here, it's the oldest one. And they keep opening and opening and opening over the course of several days until they get to be, that one's a good 8 inches across. The big ones up there open bigger, so I think they might be a foot across. So, yeah. So that's our big thrill with sunflowers. I hope the storms today don't knock them down. Here's another pumpkin growing in the corn. The corn is very short and I don't see any silk. So I don't think we're getting any corn again this year. So I'm rethinking these containers. They're supposed to be corn containers, but I don't think the corn's very happy in there. Of course, there is container corn, and I was thinking about buying it earlier this year, and I did not. So this might be my fault. Maybe container corn would make it in these little containers, but regular corn certainly does not. And here's the sunflowers that got eaten. One of them is about 6 feet tall now, which surprised me. They're sending up a lot of little buds instead of just one big one. See, right here. Yeah, so they recovered nicely. Let me go on the other side of the garden, and I'm going to show you the sunflowers on the west of the garden were always smaller than the ones on the east side. Why, I don't know. But then they got eaten, the ones on the west, and you'll see the difference here. I can back up a bit without backing into something, but you see the difference. West, east. I think the difference would be a little less pronounced if these hadn't gotten eaten here. So, yeah, that's where we are this week in the garden, and I'll see you next week.